Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is a software engineer intern, and I want to let everybody know that they wrote useless person. I don't think that. I don't think your job defines who you are or your worth. Some jobs do stink to do, and they're terrible to do, but I think if a job needs to be done, it's not beneath anybody. I think being unemployed is not who you are, right? You are not an unemployed person. You are a person that is unemployed. So I wanted to get that out of the way because I want to make sure this person is okay. So it's stressful, it's dehumanizing, but you still have worth even if you can't find a job. But that's why I'm here, is to get you a job so you can feel worth and you can get a job. I want you to have both. All right. Because it's kind of hard to feel worthy when you can't afford lunch. So what we need in an intern is pretty basic, is just degree, basic knowledge of a tech stack. So language, library, SQL, cloud, ability to work well with others, and takes direction and criticism. This resume actually had some of that in the brief meter. I did this. But they actually did have a little bit of the tech stack. I was missing a little bit of the basic language, and I don't think I got to cloud, although I might have seen it out of the corner of my eye. But a bigger issue is they don't really show how they can work well with others or take direction and criticism. So I'm going to dig through this and but there's also, again, I have a migraine issues, and my migraine is killing me, and I'm very, 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 very tired. Did not sleep, so I'm a little off today, but if you can get past an off recruiter who's distracted and sleepy and has a headache, your resume is great. So first thing, top down, problem with this is open to relocate. That's actually a red flag. So on average, companies won't move forward with you if they think you have to relocate. What you want to do instead, and this is one of the few times you actually want a summary, is you just state moving to X by Y date. That way they know that even if you don't get the job, you're still moving there. So if you just put open to relocating, they're probably just not going to move you forward. But if they know that you're moving regardless, they're going to move forward with you. And I have personally recruited for that. This actually happens to a lot of recruiters. They're like, open to relocate, awesome. And then it comes time to actually relocate, and that person does not relocate. So not only that, but if they're only doing in-person interviews, it can mess with that. So regardless of whether that is right or not, that is what you will need to do, is show that you are moving to that area. Then the formatting is not great. This is super dense. So first off, no thick line under this, no thick line under this, no line under this. Your resume should look like this. All right, this is what your resume should look like. Is it boring? Yes, of course it's boring. That's the point. Is it basic? Yes, that's also the point. But it's easily read. Because remember, I have 20 seconds. 20 seconds to find what I need. So, nothing here should be bolded. Then for this should be one line. I don't need your coursework. This should also be one line as well. Sorry, this should be one line. And I do like that you were in Wakanda and you graduated 10th in Midgard. I just want to say that is pretty funny. That's a good job on that one. I did like that. This, again, I need these in the bullet points. If you just randomly throw a skill sections out, I can't use it. So the skill section can be safely deleted. Then we have the Asgard Institute of Tech, which admittedly their tech is like magic, which is great. So here's where we get to the actual bullet points. Again, also, this should not be bolded. Stop bolding everything. Developed a web-based music platform using React with Redux for the front end and Node.js Express for the back end, implementing secure RESTful APIs with Passport.js and JW2 Authentic. It's actually solid. I actually like that as a bullet point. I would like, and I saw this later, I want you to instead, though, switch off probably the Passport and the JWT to instead say, developed a web-based music platform using Python, RESTful APIs, React.js, and Node.js. That is more and better. Then I saw SDLC, which is good. I saw Agile, which is good. I saw PyTorch, a little bit of AI, that's good. Cloud, I did not actually get to Cloud. I think I saw it out of my corner of my eye, but I didn't even get to see this in the meter yeet. So this should also be higher. So again, when you change it to this, say XYZ in an AWS environment, and it should be up front in the first line. Then what I need to do is I need to know how you can work with people. So again, for an intern, being able to work with people and take direction and criticism is huge. There are a lot of people that are phenomenal coders, but they can't get along with others, and they won't hire you that as an intern. So they want to make sure that you have actual experience in working with others, that they can tell you that, hey, your code is bad, here's how to fix it, and you won't crash out on them. All right, that is an actual concern because they have dealt with it before. So I need to know how you can work well with others and how you take direction and criticism. The problem with most intern resumes is they show leadership. And I'm not looking for how you led, I'm looking for how you were led, right? There's a bit of a difference. You are not the leader, you are the follower. I need to see how you can follow. That sounds horrible coming out of my mouth, but that is in fact what they are looking for. So that's part of your problem is this is so incredibly dense that people are not actually going to be able to find what they're looking for. Then they go down to here, they see a little bit of what they need, but they're not able to, again, find the AWS, but they don't see how you can work with others. So again, film club, volunteer, that's great, but I kind of want to know how you can interact with people, right? All of this is based on your tech. And again, you're not just tech, you're working with people. This goes for everybody. While you may not need to put in takes direction and criticism, work well with others for all full-time jobs, you are always going to be dealing with other people in the hiring process. And in interviews, a lot of the questions they ask about like, how did you deal with X is because they want to make sure you can deal with people. Because if you hire somebody who you're working with for 20, 30, 40 hours a week, and they basically microwave fish and don't wear deodorant and start screaming at the top of their lungs every time and cursing at people, that's a bad hire. So you need to show, at least for an intern, that you can work with others. So make it cleaner, make it boring, make it easier. You're not getting rejected because you're not technically skilled enough. You're getting rejected because you filled this to the brim with too much stuff. We can't find what we need, and we don't know you can work well with others. So that's all I can do for this resume. And let's go to the next resume. But before we do, if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And if you need any more help, you can let me know in the comments. I'd be glad to answer them. So please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get to the rest of the resumes. This is an argument waiting to happen. So this person stated, I am targeting everywhere, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, Singapore, and some others except the USA. Don't take it personal. I get it. I have a slight variance for each country. Good, as each country is going to have different qualifications. Couple of companies like 2Page, including summaries for Australia and the UK. Verbosity is the norm in Australia. You can fact check this. I can't because I'm a US recruiter. I haven't worked in Australia. I want to. I've gotten people jobs in Australia, but I haven't worked there. They even generally advise to reach 3 pages, include visa and availability status for Ireland, and occasionally didn't have the skill section for Canadian posting. This is all the note they sent me. And again, I am happy they sent me more information than less. So this is a new format based on a previous format. Which thanks to the upchurn in the market around the fourth quarter of 2024, there is a small bump during that time, gained a lot of traction from SubFang and Big Text and a few job offers. Okay, good. However, it was not really picking the interest of Fang. I'm not a Fang recruiter. I've worked with like really good startups. I've worked in tech. I've worked in Fortune 500 companies. I've worked with a lot of VC stuff. Not a ton. I have done it though, but I haven't worked directly for Fang. I'm not a Fang recruiter. So they're trying this. So far, 20 to 30 applications. That's not enough applications. 7 rejections and the rest are pending. 1 was with a referral. Rough. And all applications have overwhelmingly strong experience and skill sets. Okay, additionally, the format is based on nuances and characteristics of 50 plus FANG engineer resumes I found pedantically and meticulous. Is that the right use of pedantically? I don't think that's the right use of pedantically. I have found pedantically and meticulously analyzed, so every decision you are seeing there may counter your own knowledge, but it worked for the engineer, so it's adapting for mine. So, my first question to you is, why did you submit this? It sounds immediately like you don't trust my advice, which, okay, you do you. I'm not a FANG recruiter. I mentioned that repeatedly. I only work in the United States. I filled like one role in Canada. I have gotten people jobs in Africa, Canada, the UK, and Australia, but the advice may differ. And you put stuff that says it runs counter. So I ask to you, why did you submit? I don't know what you want me to say. That's why I think you want an argument, which whatever, I guess is good for content, but I'm a little confused because even in your title, you specifically say you are looking for generalist roles. Yes, they exist. I mean, yeah, but they're rarer. And I can't easily find those for people because I need to do an aggregate of it. Leaning towards backend, but mainly based in stacks as opposed to title. Thus, Python, Django, JavaScript, Node.js, SQL, GCP in lieu of AWS, Algorithm API, SDLC. That's basically a back-end Python role, or full stack with a focus on Python. That's still equivalent. That's the part that actually gets me the most, is you say, those do exist, and then you described what my Python back-end qualifications are. So this is what I would look in for a back-end Python dev, right? Like, back-end Python. It's this. That's mostly the same stuff. Again, maybe you want a little more in the full stack because you do a little bit of stuff with TypeScript, but that's it. So, I don't fully know what this person wanted from me, but I will try to review it. I mean, I'm not sure the goal, but can I find this in 20 seconds? Also, they put a funny thing up at the top, but it was a curse word, so I can't show it in the video. So they didn't dox themselves, but please don't curse. Even if it is funny, don't curse. I can't show it. So let's go. All right. AI startup. Good. They actually like startup stuff if you're going for top set. RESTful API and infrastructure. For AI, SA, TypeScript, Node.js, SQL. That's actually, yeah, that has most of the stuff. Applying SEL practices to build scalable Git. That has like mostly what I need right there. LLM, there it is. SQL. Where's the GCP? Integrated service objective. Yeah, that's actually really good. Like, you alone in this had almost everything I needed to move you forward. Right? Like, you had SAS, which is a bit of the industry. Some of them like it. You had AI. You had TypeScript. You had Node. You had SQL. You had SDLC. You had Git. And then you had JavaScript and well, you already had SQL here. The only thing I'm missing is cloud. And I don't know where that is. You stated you have it. I don't see cloud. Hold on. Let me try to find it in a privacy cam real quick. Again, I can't show this. So you said you had GCP all the way at the bottom. Did you have cloud? Yeah, okay. So my only issue with this really is you don't show cloud. And that may not be a deal breaker for a lot of companies. Because you say it all the way at the bottom. I think like people can't see it. It's all the way down there under, like, further than this, right? Further than this. And you show that you say that you have it here, or GCP, but you don't show where you used it. So my main issue with this is its formatting. I actually think your bullet points are very good. And I would always prefer somebody have better bullet points than better formatting, because the only purpose of the formatting is to let me see your actual qualifications. So you need to change up your formatting just a little bit. Again, this is pretty solid. You should put your education up at the top. You should not bold anything here, and then you shouldn't have this thing right up here. And then this should be italicized and combined. But that's basically it. That, like, seriously, this is an actually really good resume. Because the formatting is like it's not based on this, but like if I had to give formatting a grade, formatting would overall be like 30% of your resume. Like, you maybe 40%. You can pass with bad formatting. And this is not even the worst formatting. Like, I think you expect me to go, oh, it takes nothing, but this is actually very, very similar to what I suggest to people. Like, even the formatting is almost right. All you have to do is unbold this, put it into italicized, and switch this with your education, and you're good. And you can see it. The reason you want to do it is I could not get this far down. I was able to get this far down because of the formatting. If your formatting was better, I would have been able to get more. So overall, this is a shining example of how to create pretty solid bullet points. And this is what I would be looking for in a full stack or back-end Python developer. Again, you actually basically reproved my point that this is what it is we are looking for. So I'm not sure if you wanted me to fight with you or not. I like what you're doing, just some minor tweaks, but this alone will get you interviews. So good job, honestly. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data analyst, and it said, Dear Headless Headhunter, hello. I recently graduated from university not too long ago, and I started my career search as a data analyst with no internships, but just 2 federal work study positions. I feel like that's equally good, if not better, but I had 8 interviews since last week. That's phenomenal. From most of the places I applied in person. Using this resume, I polished with the help of the career advisor. Good. Normally career advisors have outdated advice, but it seems like this career advisor is good. So good. Very happy with that. And a hiring manager at another company. In addition, I've checked your video and most of the keywords. Qualifications, not keyword. I'm trying to get away from that. Appear just like my assessment. Yep, that is what they're going to be looking for. And ChatGPT. So I'm not a fan of ChatGPT, but it does seem like you have at least around the same qualifications. I was wondering if you can please share any feedback that I can improve it, feel more confident in my job search in the next few months. Would greatly appreciate it. Have a great day. So, first off, you're doing well. 8 interviews out of, well, I don't know how many you apply to, but your ratio you say is a 1 in 25, which I believe you. That's phenomenal. That's fantastic, especially for a new grad. So, you're doing things right. I also want to let you know that right now it is September. And in November and December, in the U.S., across most, but not all industries, hiring shuts down in November, December. So what may happen is right now, even though there's a small surge, which is normal, you may end up getting nothing back in November and December. And I wanted to let you know that's normal. Even a phenomenal resume may get nothing back in November, December, but from January, February, and March, that is the biggest hiring boom of the year. So that is a bit of a weird thing, is that like hiring stabilizes, and then for November, December, it drops off a cliff, and then it comes up the highest it'll ever be in the first 3 months, and then it stabilizes with 1 or 2 other blips in the year. So if you end up, and by the time you see this video, you might already have a job, but if you end up still applying in November, December, don't panic if you don't get anything back. That is seriously normal. Don't change your thing, because 1 in 25 is great. So let's see if I agree with this career counselor, but I assume yes, because again, that's pretty good. So for data analyst, what I'm going to be looking for is your degree, your industry, SQL, data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders, how you solved a problem with data, not necessarily what the data is. Industry, again, this is where it gets a little bit tricky and I can't fully get, is every industry is going to have a couple of qualifications that are different. MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, Python, R, multiple projects and deadlines. Bonus for cloud. Let's see if I can find that. And again, I am very tired and my head hurts, so might actually miss what they have. So Excel, good. Executed SQL and AWS, okay. Constantly Salesforce Center, the Python, okay, good. Streamline portability KPI dashboards, good. 50 plus stakeholders, good. Don't really care about the 10. Actually, that's an understandable metric. Train volunteers using. Am I missing anything? That might be enough to move you forward. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think so. Power BI maybe, but again, that's like, again, you don't need 100%, you need 75%, and you definitely met 75%. Let's see. Yeah, so there's only like 3 things I would say, and they're very minor overall. One, I think your formatting can be a little bit better. Again, I think you should use this. It's not terrible. I want to be clear. It's not terrible formatting. This is like a C minus, C plus formatting, right? There are better stuff like mine, but you can do way worse. And I would move this to the second bullet point. And in this, I would also mention Power BI if you can. Oh, no, you have it here. In fact, could you deliver KPI-focused dashboards using Power BI and data insights to 50-plus stakeholders to drive a boost of support? And then that way, you can also have it here as well. But that's actually really good. That's like the only real thing I would suggest is to sort of switch this with this, because this is really good. This is a really good data analyst resume. Like, I didn't need to go past this. I think it's solid. Whoever helped you write this, they know what they're doing. Like, yeah, like I said, the formatting is a little off and there's one or two minor quibbles, but overall this is great. And if you're getting a 1 in 25 ratio, phenomenal. No argument. Keep doing it. So, yeah, the only thing I would say is if you don't have a job by the time November hits, and honestly, you might have a job by then. You might have a job, an offer already by the time this video comes out, because this is a really good resume. Just don't panic if your ratio drops off a cliff in November, December. That is natural. That is normal. It will go back up in January, February, and March. So that's all I can do with this. Again, solid. Loved it. Great. Whoever taught you how to do this, I give them a rousing applause. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of actually not sure. So this is somebody that's in chat right now, and the problem we're having is we think it's called a network engineer, but it might not be. It's actually an OSP engineer, and there aren't a lot of jobs that are actually showing up as that. So I gave this person some homework over the weekend to basically find what their job title is, because sometimes companies don't always use the right job title. Sometimes they call a cook a cashier by mistake. So we need to find out what their actual job title is. So these may not be correct. I'll be perfectly honest. So I'm still going to try to do it with the assumption that they are, but let's see what I can find in 20 seconds. And again, what is their ratio? Do we know? About 150. So they also kind of want to look for product managers, which is different. So what I can do is try to find both, because I want this to at least be valuable. Product managers I have done before, but I probably need to redo what it is. So product manager, there it is. So for a product manager, what we're going to be looking for is that, not that, Lee, this. So I don't know if this is accurate or not. But let's try to find both. So, boy, this is a nightmare to read. I am aware of this. All right, let's go that up here. All right, so there we go. What we're looking for a network engineer is optic materials practices, construction practices and procedures, OSP, ISP, fiber network construction, MS Office, fiber utility maps, and construction prints. What we're looking for a product manager is that you can influence teams, that you can work cross-functional, that you have agile, multitask, that you have Google Apps, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Atlassian, Jira, Slack, Excel, and that you can explain complex topics to non-technical people. Seriously, that's huge. You really need to show how you can explain complex topics to non-technical people and how you solve problems in education. So, let's see. Can I find those? Any of those in 30 to 40 seconds. I'll give myself twice the time. All right. Education was something they actually needed. I didn't put up there. No. Fiber, good. Connections. That's what I need. Not sure I need any of this. Not sure I need any of this. I think I see Jira off the corner of my eye. Fiber design's good. And then let's give it another 20 seconds. Because, again, this is This is kind of a tough role to actually find, so they will probably have another 20 seconds. So go. Jira, good. Project tracking, managing 50 tickets per month. Okay. Manage for poll replacements. Coordination field crews to ensure time and compliance. That's actually pretty good. Cross-functional fiber testing. So yeah, my issue with this is it's split into two. This stuff, I think I would only need a single sentence if we were doing a product manager. This stuff is good for product manager, but it's also not in-depth enough. Like, I have Jira, that's good. I have cross-functional, and I have some stakeholders, but I need a little bit more. So this resume's big problem is, A, we don't fully know the title for the network engineer, and B, it's split between two. You need to split this into two resumes. One should focus on this stuff right down here. The other should focus on this stuff. Now, you still want a little bit of your industry to show, so you definitely want like a sentence of this, or maybe half, like this one probably, but it truly does look like you were doing two separate roles for this, and you can't send that in as a resume. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is I don't know. I don't know what to do with this one. Oh man, this is a crazy looking resume. This is crazy. So what this person says is getting rejected before they even get to the recruiter, would like some guidance on how to fix this. So first off, you just said software engineer, you didn't specify a type. I'm assuming since this says full stack, I can find the full stack. So for the full stack in New York, which actually is a role I am working on, which I'm actively doing this right now, although there are a couple of other qualifications. So we're assuming this is a full stack engineer. Can I find the full stack in 20 seconds? TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and then any of the other languages like Python, Java, or .NET. And bonus points for architecture, extra language, and Git. Let's go. And boom. Oh my gosh. Okay. This actively hurts my eyes. Okay, where's your first job? Your first job is here. Okay, I actually have to squint to find this. Google Cloud, good. Little bit of AI, good, and that's all I found. Wait, what? Okay, no. That's all I found. I found two things. So first off, your formatting is an abomination. And I say that with all the kindness of my heart. You need to use this formatting. This is how you do it. This is where all the stuff is. This is how you do it. It's on my website. Just go to the resume guide. It shows it up there. It's free. And this is what it should look like. I'm aware this is for a cashier. Doesn't matter. Software engineers need it too. Now for this... Oh boy. Okay. So, where's your degree? Let's see. First off, your education should be at the top, unless it looks like you did not graduate or you're a self-taught. That's okay. If that's the case, you don't want it. So guys, this is so hard to read. This can be deleted. This can be deleted. And then I need this stuff right here in here. This is so not nightmare. Okay, so I don't have anything I'm looking for. This is the big problem, is your resume is almost completely blank. I need you to start putting the basic stuff in. This is okay, right? But what you need to do is add it. So developed front-end components, and then you can put, I assume, type JavaScript, HTML, CSS for Google Cloud Delivery Platform, creating usable UI elements within Google Cloud. Like, that's all I need to know. I don't know to necessarily enhance user experience for consulting practitioners or project delivery workflows. I just need to know the tech stack and a little bit about what you did. Built and optimized APIs, that's good. Using gRPC, I'm not sure what that is. And protobuf, what is that? gRPC is... Yeah, I don't think they're going to be looking for that. And again, I'm actively at the moment recruiting for a role like this. And I can't actually tell if you would be a fit based on this. Maybe from here, Like, I don't know. Oh, man. And it is in New York. It's actually pretty funny. This is a nightmare to read. I don't know what you've done. I can't tell what you've done because of both the formatting and the fact that you've barely written this. I might email you directly to see, but I don't know what to do with this resume. Like, you might have stuff, but I couldn't send this to the client. I couldn't. There's no way. And again, like, Kubernetes and Jenkins is good, but no one's going to get past here. That's why you've not gotten any interviews, is you probably have amazing experience, but nobody has the time to dig through it. So this is why I said your formatting is between 30 to 40% of your grade, is because you can pass with bad formatting, but sometimes the formatting is so bad that it counts for 40% and we can't read what we need. And this is what that formatting is. Like, Kubernetes is fine, but yeah, fix your formatting. I don't even know what you're doing here. I might email this person directly just to see, or like cross-reference them and connect with them on LinkedIn, but I don't know what you're doing. This is so hard to read. So please, whatever you do, fix the formatting. This is what you need to do to fix, is you need to fix the formatting. This is a formatting issue above all else. Because your bullet points are almost okay, some of them, but no one's getting this far down. So make it boring, make it simple. Make sure I can read what I need in 20 seconds. I'm done with this resume. I'm sorry. You have a lot of experience, but you're not showing it. You're just showing, I don't know what you're showing. You're showing it's hard to read. So fix your formatting, and then I can actually give more salient advice. Although I imagine, based on what I saw in your bullet points, that while some of them were okay, you just need more qualifications. So that's it for this episode. If you ever need more help, you can join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I get these qualifications. That is where I help people out a little bit more. And, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Hit the bell. And if you have any questions, be sure to, let me know. And I'm here to get you ahead of the job search. That's my tagline that I messed up. Later, y'all.